All right, guys, here we go. So today's title is C3 Sicil for the kill. So C3 Sicil, what is it? It's the C3 Sicilian. If you didn't know, that's just what I play. That's what I love to play. Been playing it for a long time. I like the Grand Prix as well, but the C3 Sicilian, where it's at. So this game, what tournament is this? This is actually 2018 November. Motor City Open. Motor City Open. It's a great tournament. I actually got a tie for second place, I think. Tie for second place. And I played in this game, I was playing Jason Zheng, so he's about an expert. High 1900, pretty good player. Thanks for the follow, Sneaky Pete. Do you play the semi-Slav? Not into it, bro. Not into the semi-Slav at all. But this right here, I actually played white. I played white, so we got a C3 Sicilian. Let's get right into it. Let me actually show you. So I started with E4. Okay, C5, and then for all the C3 Sicilian players out there, what is the move here? Obvious, C3, right? The elephant. Oh, hold up. Let me go back. Hopefully we didn't catch that, but we probably just did. I think I just spoiled it. So E4, C5, C3. All you have to do is just freeze that. You'll be able to see that. So you can just freeze it, and then you'll be able to see that. But C3, D5, okay? D5 on the board. So D5, this is actually pretty good. There's the knight f6 lines, which if you go back here, you have knight f6 here, you have knight to c6, you have d6 and e6. These are all moves you have to know in this opening, and they're all different ways to go. They even have g6 as well. So there's so many things you can do here, guys. So many things. I actually do g6 against this, so it's all kind of stuff. D5 is an old line, correct, but it does yield some good chances for both sides actually with correct play. Incorrect play, it's a wrap. It's over. GG, have a nice day. That's exactly how it happens all the time in a C3 Sicilian. D5 is nice. You want that knight, but he ain't coming. Correct. It's like a Carol Khan, kinda. I play it, says Banatore. Correct. So after D5, we snap on D5. Queen takes D5, and we follow up with the simple D4 here. D4, there's many ways to play it. You can play knight C6, followed by knight F6. And all lines usually are with knight F3 or bishop D3 or E2. Also, you have ways where you can play C4 and play bishop E3 in certain areas. Knight to F6 is another one. G6 is another line. E6 is another line. There's so many lines to this stuff. So for white, kind of has almost the same setup or similar, where I can play knight F3 and like bishop E3 and C4. I can play tricky. I'm a fan of tricky stuff and different move orders and etc. So that's why I like to play the C3 Sicilian. Thanks for the follow, Havitz. So I play D4. Put a pawn in the center. There's also a line where you can capture, and that's what he chose. Captured. I take on D4. Now it's an isolated pawn. Isolated pawn. So what's an isolated pawn? Isolated pawn is a pawn that is not defended by any other pawn, and it only can be defended by pieces. So I can only defend this pawn, this weakness here, with pieces only. But there's pros and cons to this. Even my students know all the time. There's pros and cons to it. For me, you have to play around this pawn. You have to play tactical. You got to go to work. You got to have some fun with this. Because if you just sit around and be passive and trade pieces, which you shouldn't do if you have these isolated pawn, you shouldn't trade too much, then, you know, you got to play around and have some super tactics. So let's see what happens. Knight to c6. What do you play here? Obvious. Knight to f3. Right here, guys, I was so excited. Let me actually see what the chat does. With the black pieces here, what would you play? What would you play? Havitz, what's up? Knight f3. You see, I just defended this pawn on d4. Bob says bishop g4. Knight f6, bishop g4 from Banatore. It's beautiful to play for tactics. Correct. Bishop g4, bishop g4. So check this out, guys. I am not going to go any further than this because I don't want you to know to prep. But bishop g4, this is my absolute favorite line to play for white. This is my absolute favorite line. I'm not going any further than this, but I'm telling you that it gets really bad for the black pieces right here. You have no idea what's about to happen. It gets ridiculous. There are tactics everywhere, and I am booked up to like probably move 30 in a lot of these lines with bishop to g4. I'm excited. So this point, I was so happy. I was so happy when we got here. We didn't get to this point because I'm like hoping like, please, bishop g4, bishop g4, bishop g4, bishop g4, and I'm just sitting here trying to stay calm. And I'm like, bro, please just play bishop g4. Let's just get this over with quickly because I know you're not prepped on what to do with the way that I'm about to play it. So he didn't do it, and he played e6, and I'm like, all right, I'm still gonna win this game, but it's gonna take a long time because I already know here from here I'm in a comfortable position, very comfortable position. So let's see what happened. What up, Barnett? Welcome to the stream. B Barnett in the stream. e6. So e6, I'm not a fan of this immediately because his bishop is just blocking it. It's just not a move. What's Zheng's rating? He's not high 1900, almost 2000. He's like a expert, basically, high 1900. But bishop, this is blocking the pawn. So you'll be surprised how many players did do this. Actually, in World Open round 9 against Matthew Pluckett, he's a Master Master. He used to be high 2300s, very strong. He did this too, and I find that in the C3 Sicilian, a lot of people end up doing this, and it costs them the game. I mean, honestly, it's like the game if you get this in here, and that's just because I've been playing the C3 Sicilian so much and so for so long that I see that this is usually not that good, So I was already comfortable. So I played knight to c3, expecting and anticipating bishop to b4, and I'm fine. I just go bishop d3 and I castle, and then I just mate the king. That's it. Just mate the king. So after knight to c3, he goes queen d8. He gets out of the way. So after queen d8, I mean, I always put this bishop here on d3 just to attack because I know where I'm aiming at. Sometimes I'll even castle queenside in these lines just because I can hide my king on a1 if I need to. He goes knight to f6. Knight to f6. I castle, bishop d6, queen e2, and then he castles. Okay, he castles. Boom. Queen e2, castle. Here we go. Here we go. d5 after queen d8. d5 after queen d8 would never be good. Why? Because if you go back here at d5, he blocked this in. So immediately taking it, knight takes. I can go bishop e6, and I'm already hitting this. And I don't want to trade queens for what? I'm just not into trading queens. So especially in this position, bishop e6, I'm just hitting this knight. And bishop f4 doesn't work. I have to hit this knight immediately. So after bishop c4, maybe knight f6 keeps some trades going, but it's not what I wanted. This is not that good, and it just opens it up. Not a big fan of it at all. So bishop d3, knight f6, castles, queen e2. He gets out the way with castles. I go bishop to g5, bishop g5, and then he goes a6. So at this point, what do you do? What would you do with white? a6. I know what's about to happen. It's about to get real here, very fast, very quickly. But it's not over. You got things you have to do still. This is nowhere near over. a4 from Banatore. a4. Beginning to move the rooks to the center from Adam Will. Rook c1 looks nice, says Nascasta. Develop the rook from Dota. Bishop takes f6, queen takes knight e4. That's an option. Queen c2, take knight, set up on e4, knight e4, knight e4. Bishop sack is looming. Yeah, you guys are all right. But here's a funny thing. This is something to remember. Take this to the books. You need to prepare. The best attacks are the ones that are prepared. So what I like to do is, I know bishop takes f6, it is a move, absolutely. After queen takes, I can go queen e4, but then he just blocks it. And then I have to come back and go get my reinforcements and be like, oh, all right, guys, well, we know now let me go get my boys. Before it should be like, everybody's coming to the party. So I play rook a to d1 with the same intention to do the same stuff, but on a greater scale because stuff is prepared. So push parry, says McConnor. Hi, everyone. Busy these days, just popping in. What's up, Scourge? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I sacked the king. That's a big boy move, RV. That's a big boy. Rook a to d1 from Gatson. Greek gift set up, close. Horse to e4, knight e4. Well, knight e4, the problem with knight e4 is bishop e7. It's not that it's a problem, but it's just annoying. And it doesn't happen until after they play b5. So I wanted to see if he was going to play b5 because I always, I tell my students a lot, you got to stay consistent. What does that mean? With moves, if he's going a6, what do you think Black's next move is going to be? b5. So you probably anticipating as white, you can probably, there's a slight chance he might go b5, which he didn't. But he might go b5. And if he does go b5, well, then I can actually take this and then GG, you might as well start a new one, guys. Just start a new one. I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many players, how many masters I've actually been able to win in this position or something similar to this. So it happens all the time. Greek gift needs a pawn on e5. Correct, Phil. Greek gift needs a pawn on e5, but not all the time. Because it just depends on if your knight, if you can't cover with like knight f6 or bishop f5 to cover to h7, then it works. It works. But if he can cover h7 with knight f6 or bishop f5 or something to cover the square, the Greek gift will not work. So this happens all the time, right? But after I was expecting b5, but I was like, maybe he won't play it. You know, so I went rook a to d1. And then he went knight to b4. That's an interesting way to play here. I was like, and I'm so glad I did go rook a to d1 because now I can move my bishop. So, Phil, it's probably something that, I don't know, like Nightbot caught it for something. So don't worry about it. It's all good. It's just, yeah, Nightbot's very sensitive. That's probably why it was checked like that. So knight to b4. After knight to b4, he has something to do with knight to d5. That's all he's trying to do. Is go knight d5. He's also trying to attack this. Not a fan of giving his bishop up. I never will. So I just put it back on b1. I always call this a snake in the grass. The bishop sits right here and is still doing the same thing it's doing if it's right here all up in your face. So I'll put this bishop on b1. I'm also able to play a3, and it's very flexible here. At this point, I'm like, it's a matter of time. It's going to be over. Why not put the bishop on c4? Well, the bishop on c4, that's a great question. The bishop on c4 does absolutely nothing. It's hitting a wall here, and d5 is like forcing the issue here, which I don't really need to do this. The bishop is stronger in this line, especially when you have an isolated pawn. It'd be different if this probably wasn't isolated, but I love the ISO positions because I like to play around them. That's where most tactics are, in these ISO pawn positions when you can actually play around this pawn. So I like to do that a lot. So I'll put this bishop here and be able to aim here, and I have constant pressure here against anything and any player on earth. You always have this annoying pressure here that you have to be very accurate about. And you know, I mean, I always like to, like, you know, draw arrows, but like this can get bad very quickly. If I get everything aiming here at the right moment using the knight e5, sometimes f4 happens, the other rook gets into play, and then everybody is over here hanging out at this party, at this man house, that uninvited. Looks ridiculous. It's like we just drawing art here on the board, as it happens every single time. And you'll see after knight to b4, bishop to b1. h7 is weak. Yes, was thinking the bishop on c4 prevents knight to coming from d5. Correct, but sometimes you want them to do that. Sometimes you want them to do something like that, like knight d5. I want him to go here. It's different because his move order was kind of off here, and he still has to develop. This is like the Tory attack plan. In a way, actually, it is. He goes knight to d5. I let him get his move in, and then I thought for a while here. I actually did, because I was like, there's so many ways I can do this. There's so many things I can do, and it has to be honestly accurate. And not to you know, say that it's so many ways to do it right. There's so many ways to do it, and there's like one super accurate way here. So what do you do as white? You have a lot of moves you can make. You got rook e1, rook d3, h3, knight e5, knight h4, bishop d2, a3 is potentially a move, knight e4, and taking on d5. These are all moves you can do. You have to consider them. Which one do you do and why? I'll go with the knight, to be honest, says Nakasta. Knight takes knight. Why is your opponent not playing b5, bishop b7? Oh, Banatoria would have jumped off the deep end and played b5, but maybe not here. Maybe you mean like last move? Of course, because b5, bishop takes f6, queen e4. And that's always the problem with playing b5. Now, maybe not now because the knight's blocking it, which is something to face, but it eventually can still be a thing. Queen to d3. I'm a beginner, says Jay Boo. That's okay, man. You're hanging out with us. You don't make moves that take back later. Knight takes d5, followed by queen d3. Okay, queen d3 from Joe. Okay, take the knight. So queen d3. These are right, guys. These are right, right? Knight takes d5. I'm not a fan of it because I don't want to. Why would I open his bishop up? What am I doing? So go back to the chalkboard here, like start a new one. Like, why? You might as well resign for bad play. What? It's not even real. I know you just resigned because it was wrong. Knight takes d5 is just not a thing. It's not a thing. You don't want to take this because it's just, you don't want to open it up. And there's a saying out there, shout out to Igor Smirnov, Grandmaster, says to take is a mistake. That's real. A lot of times to take is a mistake. There's always exceptions in chess, but to take is a mistake is a big one because you just open this up. I don't need to take this. I don't need to. So I'll just wait. What up, Canty? What's up, Chess Theory? A3 from Bob. 95 from Cook2 Live. Queen D3. Let's look at that. Queen D3. I could have played this, but honestly, it's too obvious right now, and my queen feels very misplaced here. It's too obvious. We know he's going to block this. So a lot of times in chess, you can make obvious moves like mates and stuff, but when you make an obvious move, I'm going to make an obvious way to block it, you know, and then what? And then what's the follow up? You need some good follow-up. I always like to ask that to my students too. What's the follow-up? What's your follow-up? What's your plan? And a lot of times when you plan 2200 plus, your plan need to be 5-6 moves deep and correct or accurate. And you need a plan B as well. It's tough. It's tough stuff. So after G6, I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I maybe try H4, H5, blah, blah, blah. And this is probably sitting here and his position's only getting better, not really worse. So Queen D3, I just wasn't into. I need to find something more. I need to find something else. So after rookie, he said rookie 1, 94, 95 after G6 from Phil, H4. Pinned, so but you can blast open the king side. That's a thing too. Yeah, good point. Obvious forcing move should only have a good result and follow up. Ooh, nice one, Quinn. Sorry, just got here, but 95 is a strong move here, right, from Godet. So all the 95s stand up right now. Put your lightsaber in the air. Just one time. Just put it up there in the air. Let's see it. Absolutely. 95. I just went 95 because there's a lot of venom to this move, but at the same time it's also a space grabbing move. His bishop does not want to take this. I also have F4 as a follow-up because his bishop's inside the pawn chain. I even have rook F3, rook H3 for a quick rook lift if I need to. Okay, F4 is another thing, you know, knight to C4 if I have to, but this knight's just annoying on E5. It's very annoying. And you're never probably moving this knight because, you know, everything probably hanging over here. It's just not right. It don't feel right. It's not. So, you know, this knight's just it's almost like untouchable. It's like a free move almost. It's sweet to put this knight on E5. I like 95 actually, but I'm looking for something better. Correct. When you find a good move, look for a better one. That's from Lasker. But sometimes you just can't find a better one. So you just go with the good one. So that's like the additional to that quote. If you can't just find it, just do the good one. Because some people be looking forever and they never find it. You just can't find it. It's just not. There is no better one. You just play the good one. Shotty to the body. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Rook D3 from X Marta Martis. Yes, Rook D3 could be a potential way to rook lift. So after knight to E5, he goes Queen C7. He goes Queen C7. White to move here. White to move. Shout out to you, X Martis. Shout out to you, bro. Left hand man with the eyes. What do you do? White to move. I was like, Queen C7. First off, I stood up. I looked at the board. I looked back at him. And then I said, that's not a move. And then I sat back down. And then I made my move. F4. Bishop takes F6. I love old chess books that like to rash game chess. Written in descriptive notation. Oh, really? I love those, huh? New baby fun? Yo, it's Chit Chat. Oh, Chit Chat. What's up, RBT? Yeah, I got another one, man. This is number 2. Number 2, he's coming. He's going to be doing January, bro. Possibly. Yeah, I'm having a son. Wow, mine too, man. Ours won't be January 1st. Ours will be end of January. So shout out to you, Chit Chat Chess. Kiki, what's up? Welcome. Bishop takes F6. Rook D3 from Banatore. Bishop takes F6. Rook D3. Queen E4. Kent, where would you find about chess lessons with you? Just send me a message on chess.com. I also have a lessons command. So just put the command in the chat. And from there, what if black responds with H6 instead of Queen C7? H6 is a good one. I just would have went like probably bishop back to no. Knight takes D5. I just don't think H6 is right. It just doesn't feel right. I can also probably go back to C1 too. But I never considered H6 though. I was like, this is not a thing. Just don't do it. Yeah, just don't do it. Okay, I'm catching up with the chat, guys. Congrats on the baby. Thanks, Math Man. Catching up on the chat. Yo, what's up, Incognito? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow, RBT. Will White's move just be a rook lift from Godet? Rook C1 from Joe. Here it is, guys. Shout out to you, lightsabers in the air one time. One time for you if you play Rook D3. That's right. Rook D3. I always like to say, especially to my students out there, they know that I love to attack with multiple pieces. So I try not to trade unless it's absolutely necessary for me a lot of times. If it's necessary, I will take it. If it's not necessary, I try to keep them on the board because a lot of my tactics, if you notice, most of your tactics are with multiple pieces. So I like to keep pieces on the board, especially in attacking positions. That's why I play E4 because it gives you open games and you can do this kind of stuff quickly against very strong players and above. It works all the time for me, and I'm not over 2300 USCF because I'm playing very slow chess. So Rook D3 is the move. Canty with the chops, Damien. Congrats on everything. Thanks, bro. Got the chops. Chop them. Hand panned. Rook H3. Attack with multiple lightsabers. Correct. I cannot attack very well So I have to take all pieces before win, right? That's right, bro. What's wrong with knight to d5? So knight to d5 is not that something's not wrong with it. I think it's takes, and after takes, I think he's just okay. Maybe I can sack this, but the queen also, you know, eyes a lot here. So you need a good follow up here, and it needs to be forcing a lot of times. Sacking just won't work. I mean, it may work, but you got to be sure. You got to be sure. You know what I mean? If you're not sure, it's not a thing. Queen e4, knight. I'm here. I'm going g6. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you a better move. F5. Ouch. Oh my goodness. What happened to my attack? Where's my bishop at? Oh, it's not doing anything anymore. It's like actually over. At this point, my attack is over. It is over at this point. That will be a absolute disaster. Disaster. The hat is fire. Thanks, RBT. Appreciate it, bro. We got the merch store too. We in here. What's up, Liv? What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. So let's go back right here. So knight d5, and again, like if I only trade when it's absolutely necessary, I know that I'm winning. If I knew I was winning immediately, I would have snapped it before he even hit the clock. You know, hurry up, bro. Can you hit the clock? Did you make your move? Because I'm about to snap this piece right now. So I would easily take it, but rook d3, it helps because now if he takes, then I have, first off, if he takes, I take with tempo. This is annoying. My rook's about to just go ridiculously. I don't even know. He don't even know where he want to be at. You know, we just let the rook ask, what square do you want to go to? Because they all are like winning. So, you know, it's just a lot. It's a lot going on there, so you can't really take it. I'm also threatening the rook lift. Again, this bishop is disgusting here. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help, which means this piece is still locked in too. So currently, he's actually down 2 pieces in this attack, with mine attacking with 1, 2, we'll say 3 because it's helping out, 4, and a 5th piece ready to come in. So this is about to be devastating in this attack, if you can figure it out correctly. So let's see what happens. Rook to d3, he goes h6. And here we go, guys. And here we go. When everything is correct, it just happens. When everything is right, the Jedi appears. What happened? White to move, guys, and you got to find it. It is a sequence. You need to find it. Your opponent subtracted his lightsaber in the first 5 moves. Hafiz, when the hoes go out looking at h7. That's probably a great meme, bro. When the whole squad looking at h7. That could be great. h6. Man, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes. Everybody's like bishop takes. Bishop takes, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5. Bishop takes h6. So let's go over this, and I'm gonna tell you why, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Bishop takes is not the move. Let me put that in the chat for y'all. That's not a move. Okay, I thought the same, right? Watch this. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Give me the follow up. Somebody give me the follow up, please. Give me the follow-up. I'm going to show you this. This stuff, you got to know. You have to know what you're doing. Analysis, calculation, that stuff is real. You got to get your calculation game up. Rook h3. Maybe rook h3. I don't know, Joe. Maybe rook h3. Most people are looking at rook g3. Rook h3, it seems like it'll work. I think Joe might be right. I think rook h3 is still working. But rook g3 is the most common. And then after they go here, guess what? I got a square for this knight. Knight g8. So when I go queen d2 or try to attack this, I can defend it. And then I can play f5 and it's all nice and everything defended. Weird. So weird how everything is defended in this line. And I was like, this don't make sense. Like, it don't make sense. So I used a little bit of retrograde analysis, which is working backwards from a position. You know what? I need to get rid of something. So shout out to the knight takes d5 guys in the chat. I snapped on d5 first, forcing him to take something. You have to do something. Either you're going to take with the knight and allow me to now hit you with the whole sink and everything else that I can find in my path. Or you take this way and I just take on f6 and it's even better. Not even better, but it's obvious. I just take with tempo, of course, and also check and mate in a few. To take is a mistake, correct, but there's always exceptions in chess. That's the problem with it. That's the problem. Knight takes d5 and bishop f6, correct. So knight takes d5, queen e4, says Safari. How can you tell us a sack is not a move? I know. Thanks for the follow, Robbie. Appreciate it. So I take on d5. He takes. Then I go snap on h6 real quick. You can do that for a living. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Bishop takes h6. He takes it. Boom. There it is. I'm like, oh my goodness. He did it. It's over. It's over. Somebody send a stretcher. They call in the stretcher. They sending it to his address as I'm making my move. It's like they're sending it. They put, you know, filling out his application. It's a wrap. So bishop takes h6, pawn takes, white to move. What do? How do you finish the game here? Rook g3 from Ethical Kid. Rook g3. And actually, I think, honestly, guys, I have another line in here. I think this is what he did. Takes. Let me actually show you this line too. Let me actually show you this one, because in the game, I'm sure he took this bishop. He actually did this first, so this helped out a little bit more. But I want to show you both lines. He took here, and I actually, because we were in the chat and I asked you what the move was, this is what happened. So this is what could have happened, but I'll show you what he did. After queen d2, f5, okay, f5, takes, and then that's out because he has queen h7. But watch this out. Watch this, guys. This rook's defended, so that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So I have to go knight g6, king g8, and then what? I thought this was pretty cool. What is it, guys? What's the move? What's the move? We got rook c3. Somebody jumping off the deep end out here. Oh, wait, maybe that's for the other move. Queen, knight for e5. What move is that? That's a new one. Q in e5. Okay. That's Ethical Kid. I think that was cool. Like, I've never heard of that one. I didn't even see that move, bro. I didn't even see that one. Rook f8, knight f8. He put kf8. Oh, man. Incognito going through it. rf8, kf8. I know what you mean, though. Knight f8. Actually, it is a move. It's a strong move, and it works on the spot, right? But knight e7, guys, all the knight e7 guys, you're correct. Knight e7. First, knight e7. Oh, man, hit that man. Hit the move. Oh, my goodness. Stand up, flex, whatever you want to do. It's an excellent move. King here blocks the connection. Then we can take the rook, because the rook's hanging now because the connection's blocked. So if you move out of the way, I mean, it's just over. Like, why are we still playing this? If you play king f7, are you really, wait, why are you still moving? You know, that's just not a thing. So that's out. That's out. So that could have happened. Everything's running correct. So what really happened, though, is actually he did this first. He took here first. So now after taking, I take back, and then he took on h6, and then I play check, king h6, queen d2. And that's what happened here. You forget that he can't play king h7 for anyone in the chat thinking, why doesn't he just go king h7? Because the snake in the grass on the other side of the board that you forgot about. Absolutely. You always forget about this bishop. I promise you, you have been hit with this bishop before. Many times. Many times. He's been sitting over here saying hello to you since the day that you moved your pieces. It's just, hey, what's up, bro? We here, and it's cutting this off. It's crazy that this is still here helping. And then after f5, takes, queen h7, snap, and then it was mate like that. So other than that, it was an awesome game, man. That was great. Been hit by a smooth bishop. Snake ready to strike. I know. That was so cool. So c3 Sicil for the kill. Again, running through this. e4, c5, c3, d5. Snap, snap, d4. He takes. This is probably my absolute favorite line to play as white, because I get so many attacking chances here. It doesn't make sense. I love doing this. I love this one right here. So word of mouth. If you ever play me in the Sicilian, just don't play this one right here. Just don't play this one. You can play any other one, and you know it's going to end differently. You know, I'm still going to be swinging at you with this lightsaber, but you got to be don't do this one as black. I'm just telling you. Word of mouth. 100 bits from Omni says, great analysis. Thank you, Omni. Thank you for the bits today. Appreciate that. Can you show a couple bishop g4 on how to beat it? No, actually. No, because I play this as white, so I'm not about to show you what. And not even how to beat it. I'm not about to show you what's right. But bishop g4, bishop g4 is the move in here. This is what you're supposed to do as black. Bishop g4, but it gets wild. I mean, this is insane. Insane. I didn't hit this with the engine probably 17 times 7. And then another 17 times 7. Bro, I hit this real hard with the engine. So this is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. It really is. But You know, don't play this one. Don't play this one. Play any other one. And I mean, just don't take this. Maybe try another one, but not this one. Thanks for the follow, Sonoris. So, but going through it though, E6 was just, I knew that it was going to get bad already. I knew it was just going to be bad because you are blocking this bishop in, and it's a problem. It's very, very easy to go wrong here. Again, knight C3, bishop D3, get out the way. Queen E2, I'm ready for the setup. Bishop G5. I'm waiting for him to push this so I can take and play Queen E4 and hit him with the tactic, the usual tactic here. So I'm just waiting. I'm sitting around waiting while my piece is getting better. So A6, Rook D1, piece is getting better, waiting on B5. If B5, again, the tactic takes, Queen E4, just start a new one. It's just start a new one. It's not your day today. So start a new one. But of course, he didn't go for it. He went knight B4. I get out of the way. And we start this attack off. Rook D3. Snap, snap, snap. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What happened? And everything else. And it's mate kind of stuff. Right? But it actually happened this way, where he did this first. Yeah. And there we go. And that's the end of that game, man. That's the end of that game. That is the Jedi versus Jason Zheng.